You know, it's interesting how sometimes you can just find things that you're not even looking for on the internet. I was sort of getting ready to go to bed, and a channel I didn't even really wasn't familiar with came on, and it was a woman just driving around talking in like Kentucky in the middle of the night. It was really pretty footage, a lot of snow around, and she said she'd been driving all over the country. And then her next video came on, and it was Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory. And I just about fell out of my, I don't know, my chair, because this was the laboratory that was next door to Friends World College. And there's more to it than that even. Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, and I have not even finished watching her whole video yet. But as Friends World College was on the old Livingston estate, and if you check out Livingston and Gibbs, Google it, you will be able to see that Livingston was part of the East India Company, one of those families, and so was the Dulles family. So these were families that made their fortunes in opium, slavery, you know, all of this sort of thing that the East India Company turned into. And the Dulles family then sold the estate or moved on to part of it. I don't know. They brought Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory onto the estate. And the Dulles brother thing is kind of strange, because I worked at Sullivan and Cromwell years later, and the famous Dulles brothers, one of them was a partner there, and this was all under J. Edgar Hoover, and it was kind of a crazy time. And yes, that was way before my time. But anyway, we're back to Cold Spring Harbor Labs, right next door to Friends World College. Friends World College being the place of many, many nationalities. You know, and if you take a look at the I made like a little film about it, and here's a little piece of it here. There's the barn. There's the barn there. There's like a window in the main house. I don't even know if any of this exists anymore. There's a student. So, you know, here's a bunch of students, and it was called Friends World College, that there was basically a student. See, there's the old Livingston mansion. This was right there on Lloyd Harbor, next door to Cold Spring Harbor. So basically, these two rich East India people built little mansions next to each other. This was on Long Island. So, you know, it's interesting looking at this place now in hindsight, that here I was at Friends World College. Basically, it's a small world, you know, sort of a person from every country. And now I'm wondering, were we some kind of like, you know, experimental petri dish for them, you know, to have for genetic research? Because Cold Spring Harbor Labs is a very famous place for eugenics. You know, there's kind of the hidden history of Cold Spring Harbor, that you know, the eugenics record office at Cold Spring Harbor. Even the New York Times did something called the dark history or something. I saw there, you know, the kind of Nazis. You know, Cold Spring Harbor, eugenics, biowarfare genetics, people who go kind of really deep into AIDS research will find that Cold Spring Harbor Labs, you know, AIDS comes up, things like this. You know, it's where Crick was with DNA, that sort of thing as well. But this was really, you know, kind of a baddie place. We didn't know it. You know, when I was at Friends World College, I was 18, We rode limos with Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island limo. If you ever wanted to go to the airport at Friends World, you'd always stop by Cold Spring Harbor as well. So we were joint on that. And I just thought it was people, you know, who like starfish. Cold Spring Harbor Labs. It sounded so, you know, it sounded so innocent. But here, these people, this couple, like, traveled around the U.S. to find different weird places. And so let's just listen to them for a minute, because this is the house next door to that little place, that mansion you saw in the snow.
The Eugenics records office. It is now a private residence, and it was really, really hard to find, and we're probably not even supposed to be sitting in this person's driveway filming it right now, but the fact that it's so hidden, and they won't even tell you where it was located, it takes forever to find it back in the woods, tells you a lot about how much they want this place to be forgotten. When we finally found it tucked away in the woods, up the road from the actual Cold Spring Harbor laboratory, we realized that there's actually no information about the actual address of the house itself, tying the location to the fact that it was the...
It was interesting when she said that there was no address at the house and nothing tying it to anything. When I went to Friends World College, there were no signs up anywhere that said that the college was a college. In fact, one time, the police for some reason showed up there. I don't know why, but they did, and they were in total shock. I don't know if there was a lost student or something, but they didn't even know that the college was there or in existence. Yeah, they really didn't know. It was like they were totally shocked. So it's interesting how just under the radar everything was. This might even be down a dirt road. Our mansion was. It was several, you know, kind of this real twisty thing way off all the other roads.
The Eugenics records office for 30 years.
This is it. Eugenics records office.
The only thing we could actually find is this one article here, which is only 3 paragraphs long, actually more like 3 sentences, 4 sentences long. And the first one is basically completely misleading, and it just really doesn't tell you anything from there. The house...
It's interesting how she was talking about that. I guess it's for sale right now. It's interesting how they're maybe trying to erase things now that people are maybe finding out more about it. But the lab is still there, and it is all very secret. And, you know, not only was there a eugenics records office here, but there was also the, it's a bioweapons lab. And so this is part of the puzzle that I'm trying to get out there to people. The East India Company, opium money, great big Wall Street financier money, and the setup of the eugenics lab, the most famous one, really, well, infamous. They're not trying to be famous, they're trying to be hidden, next door to Friends World College, which I don't know. I mean, now we're going to start looking into what was going on there. What was going on there? So we're on a little research mission tonight, and I thank you all so much. Take good care. Bye.